Hi, I'm teacher Kelsey, and I'm going to share with you our project in Juniors 1 English from Term 3 called Take Action Against Cyberbullying. In this project, we started and continued with the driving question, what should we do about cyberbullying? Which lended itself very well to the learning objectives that the students worked on in the process. Students learned about cyberbullying through watching videos, engaging in online research, reading informational text, but that's not all we did. We also read a fiction novel as a companion piece called Freak the Mighty because it covered similar themes that we were working on in this project. Students drafted a new section of the TOLIS policy handbook for cyberbullying. They also wrote argumentative essays with evidence supporting why TOLIS needs that section in the policy handbook. And finally, they organized an event to spread awareness about the issue and the possible solutions. Some of the learning goals that we covered in this project were about organizing and structuring claims and evidence, writing clearly with a range of vocabulary and different sentence structures, conducting short research projects, and coming up with follow-up questions to dig deeper and expand their research, and analyzing, evaluating, and developing facts, ideas, and opinions, drawing on information from multiple sources. This project covered numerous success or 21st century skills like creativity, collaboration, leadership, curiosity, critical thinking, and communication. And then we also had key vocabulary such as upstander and bystander, which are some of the roles that students play in bullying situations. The upstander is a person who stands up and speaks out when bullying occurs, and a bystander is somebody who stands by and doesn't do anything, even if they're not actively participating. The rest of the key vocabulary had to do with the types of the writing the students were practicing, such as argument, claim, policy, and handbook. There were numerous major products. Individually, students completed argumentative essays about why we need a section on cyberbullying in the handbook, and they supported those arguments with evidence. As groups, students drafted the new sections about cyberbullying in the policy handbooks. As a class, they scripted and filmed a media message to raise awareness about the issue, possible solutions. And then finally, we had our public event on October 20th, Unity Day, in which we invited the whole community to wear and share orange, again, to raise awareness. Okay, at the beginning, students didn't know much about what cyberbullying was. Bullying is defined as repeated aggression with a specific target, and cyberbullying is when that happens online, which can take many forms. Messaging, but also social media, which is very big these days. We started with a mini film festival to introduce students to the topic and all the complexities that go along with it. After those videos were watched, we processed their new knowledge with a thinking routine called Big Paper. The students added comments to the paper, their reactions, and then they commented on each other's comments and started kind of a written dialogue. And finally, as a class, we created our Need to Know chart, which lived on this project wall. It's a key part of the PBL process. First, we started by identifying what students already know, their background knowledge on the topic. Then we identified what they needed to know in order to complete their products well, and next steps to accomplish those needs to know. The document was living because we added more questions and answers when we came across them and kept editing the chart. This project also involved collaboration with math. In Math 6, students created and sent out a survey to collect data on students in our community's experience with cyberbullying. And it gave us some very interesting results, such as almost 70% of students in this school who completed the survey know someone who had been cyberbullying, which is a big number. We formed groups. So before beginning the major products, I placed the students in groups and they created their group norms. That was a list of agreements that they believed would best help them accomplish class and their learning most effectively and productively. The group norms also stayed on the project wall to continue to reference as we worked on this project. We invited an expert guest called Jimena, who is a professional who gives workshops about violence prevention. Whenever she came to visit and present to the students, she really helped us understand some of the root causes for bullying and cyberbullying, which can be traced back to smaller, invisible details. Our public event was on October 20th for Unity Day. We invited the whole community to wear and share orange to promote awareness about cyberbullying and how to stop it. First, students created flyers with all the necessary information on one page to announce the event. They delivered messages personally to the different classes on campus, and they modified their messages according to the age of the students and their audience. And finally, they scripted and filmed a media message that we sent to the community before Unity Day. This media message illustrated what is cyberbullying and what does it take to be an upstander. On Unity Day, we took advantage of the day to also present the students' policy drafts and their argument evidence to our school directors. Students were very nervous because they knew that what they were doing had the potential to make a big difference to our community and our school. In reflection, students were initially shocked by some of the more severe consequences of cyberbullying, such as depression, dropping out of school, and even suicide. So it took a lot of focus and attention for them to recognize that there are smaller causes that lead to these drastic consequences. That's analysis, examining the different parts that make up the whole, and they were able to achieve it with the time that they were given. Secondly, Jimena's workshop was enlightening for all of us, them as much as myself, and it helped us solidify some strong evidence for supporting their arguments that we need this cyberbullying policy in our cyberbullying section in our policy handbook. And finally, creating something to support the school made the students' work very authentic. As I said before, they were nervous to present to the directors, but that meant that they knew that what they were doing mattered. They knew that they were leaving a legacy behind. One of my favorite moments was when we reflected on the feeling of the project and having completed it. Many of them commented on how good it felt to be done with those presentations that they worked so hard on and they knew had an impact on their community. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed hearing about this project as much as I enjoyed doing it with the students in 6th and 7th grade. And it makes me really excited to take on new projects next year.